Hi everyone, it's Hubert Shorter here with another video from It's Gaming. Well, it finally happened. BioWare released the character creator. I'm kidding, of course. They invited some content creators to play the game, and a part of that playthrough included the use of the character creator. Now, I'll be showing you some video of that and giving you my reactions to it in a moment. But I actually wanted to start with a story related to the character creator and whether it's going to be released prior to the game. Now, according to an article that I found on Eurogamer, I mean, you can see the title of it there, BioWare keen to release Dragon Age The Veilguard character creator before launch. So I've always been asking this question, are we going to get this prior to the launch of the game? So you can see that, if you look at the details of the story, and by all means go over to Eurogamer and take a look at it for yourself in detail, you can see that the very first sentence, BioWare was suspiciously coy when asked whether it was considering releasing a standalone character creator for Dragon Age The Veilguard before the game's full release on the 31st of October. Now, Corinne Bush has been doing a lot of press recently as more and more details of the game have been released. And you can see she's quoted as saying, it's a much requested feature. We're TBD on that, but it would be pretty stinking cool. So I've got my fingers crossed. I hope you've got your fingers crossed that we might get our hands on this before the game. It'll certainly give us the ability to create our characters, so as soon as the game's released, we can just jump straight in. Exactly in the same way that I think Dragon's Dogma 2 really, they energized us to want to get into the game by releasing the character creator early on. So I've got my fingers crossed about this so much that I can hardly speak properly. But let's take a look at what the character creator can actually do now. So many of us who didn't get the chance to play the game have probably seen the IGN video that you can see going on in the background, or at least about to go on in the background. Again, I've not watched it in its entirety, so I'm going to do a bit of a reaction to some of the elements that are obviously going to show up in the character creator especially. So let's give this a whirl.
Our gods are back. Our gods. How do we stand against that?
After 10 years, we're now just a little over a month away from playing Dragon Age The Veilguard.
Still can't believe it's been 10 years.
Of BioWare's first original game since Anthem in 2019, and fourth...
We won't talk about Anthem.
Starting with the prologue and later loaded into several different saves. As a longtime fan, what I'll say is 10 years is a very long time, but so far, The Veilguard hasn't disappointed.
Now, some people have been saying that the cutscenes are very well created. That's very loud, but yeah. They're very good.
There's something kind of exciting about it.
Now, I could talk to you about the combat, and I will, or the gorgeous locales,
which we've seen,
or the way it felt to see Varric and Solus again.
Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
I'm still worried about Varric. I really am.
Or I could skip straight to the character creator and start.
Here it is, baby. Now, so far, the little that I've seen, I am incredibly happy with it. It looks a lot like the level of detail that we got in Dragon's Dogma 2, so I am so excited to get my hands on this. But let me not get too ahead of myself.
There's so much hair. Look, I loved.
Yeah, this is true. Inquisition, for all its brilliance, when it comes to the character creator, you always have issues. I mean, some people are still playing it. You always have issues because of all the limitations. So I'm glad they finally addressed this by creating a proper character creator. Excellent.
Long acknowledged the limitations of its character creator. The Veilguard blew me away.
Look at that.
After the
And
lackluster option,
again, I don't have a problem with the art style. I really don't.
30 hair options for Kunari and 88 for non-Kunari, complete with...
I don't know if I want to play a dwarf. For the first time, I might just do that.
Different hair textures are represented, whether you'd like...
Kunari, I don't know too much about, especially with the way that the Kunari look in this game so far.
...to a long braid that whipped around as quickly as I did. Kunari horns also see a massive...
There they are.
49 unique styles. Options range from large and imposing to decorative or even
I think the important thing is that there's a lot of variety, and that's what we wanted.
and look pretty jarring. I played as a Kunari mage during most of my preview and will say I got used to the look pretty quickly. Dragon Age The Veilguard actually only marks the second game of the series where you can play as a Kunari, so the odd imbalance of forehead versus face feels like stylistic growing pains. I remain curious about whether more time with the character creator might help. The air shock of Dragon Age 2 is, in my
Pretty imposing character. Look at that. Wow.
I would love to be able
I remember that guy.
Kunari Rook that feels as memorable. Customization certainly doesn't stop at hair, or horns, of course. Every aspect of your Rook is editable, even allowing for facial...
I really don't understand what the problem is with the art style. Some people have said it's too cartoony. I really don't see that.
My favorite,
Maybe it's me.
however, is the introduction of body diversity. Cyberpunk 2077 and Baldur's Gate 3 had whiffs of this, but nowhere near what you're capable of in the Veilguard, which is much more similar to the...
There you go. There you go. And they acknowledge that. IGN acknowledged that by putting that in their video.
...to choose from, all with varying heights and muscle or fat distribution. Once you've chosen your preset, however, you can build further upon those elements as much as you'd like. First is a triangulation of coordinates, allowing for many unique combinations of body types that are...
Oh, I like that.
larger,
I do like that.
muscular.
It's nice and straightforward.
Especially
But clearly you can specialize there.
short elf ruin years of Solas's ritual planning by pushing over a statue. The options feel almost endless.
And that's exactly what I wanted. The character creator should almost be a part of the game.
All of this is only scratching the surface. I haven't even gotten into facial hair, makeup, scars, or tattoos. As an elf, my Rook sported some Vaseline, but there are so many different designs for both the face and the body to experiment with. While I didn't spend very much time exploring customization for the Inquisitor, I just know...
Okay, you can do that as well. That's great.
It's good to see you again.
Also, it may be a relief to some of you to know that Veilguard abandons the awful green lighting of Inquisition's character creator and instead allows you to cycle through several lighting options in service of creating
That's an interesting Kunari.
good in gameplay, as they do when you create them. Combat, meanwhile, was a refreshing change.
Oh, okay, so they're talking about combat now.
And even as a knight enchanter, I often felt like I was...
I don't know if I'm interested in playing a mage. I want to be able to do the shield throw, so I'm going to be a warrior, I think. Wouldn't it be interesting? Who are you going to be? Put it in the chat.
The Veilguard introduces a new fighting style for mages featuring an orb and dagger for quarters combat. It's tailored
Okay.
to me who love magic, but also really like to stab. During my
Maybe I'll try that on a second playthrough.
forward into various points of Act 1, so I really got to quickly experience the progression Rook and their companions can go through as fighters. We may not be able to take control of our companions this time around, but the Veilguard really encourages strategizing with them. They'll call out to you.
Yes, we've talked about this in a previous video.
They'll even suggest
Not total control, but, you know,
during the event.
there's some things you can do.
I didn't get as much of a chance to interact with the characters as I would have liked, but Even the brief moments of banter endeared me to them pretty quickly.
It didn't break. You call that nice and quiet?
Each class gets its own ultimate ability, think the focus ability, along with a ranged attack. For warriors,
Ooh, that looks dangerous.
your shield like a giant metal.
Now, that's what I want to do. That's why I'm going to play a warrior.
But with this new system, I had so...
Captain America style.
I felt present during every encounter and truly accomplished after every boss battle.
I think the feeling here, again, from what a lot of people have said, that it's more like a Mass Effect adventure than a true open world adventure. And I'm all for that.
Veilguard offers 5 different difficulty levels that you can change at will if you want to ease yourself in. As a Dragon Age fan, the Veilguard felt like a homecoming of sorts. Just as much as seeing familiar faces in Solus and Varric, I was overjoyed to be back in the world of Thedas itself.
I can't wait to get back in.
Sense of discovery I got in Inquisition. And if I'd encourage anything, it's to really look at your surroundings. Not only are there small environmental puzzles to entangle along
that's good.
and effective moments of visual storytelling, but the horizon is full of breathtaking scenery that drives home the scale of these locations I've personally always wondered about. One new locale, for instance, is a gorgeous underwater prison called the Ossuary. I won't
Oh, wow.
what there to do, but the design alone makes
That looks cool.
memorable moments I've had in any Dragon Age game. Even after hours of gameplay, I still felt like I could have played for many hours more. I'm optimistic about the Veilguard, and excited for it in a way I haven't quite felt about another game in quite some time. If you'd like to see even more of the game, check out our exclusive
Well, there you go.
even more gameplay
The character creator and more information about gameplay.
for everything else in the world of video games. Stick with IGN.
Oh,
Thanks.
well, there you have it. The character creator and some gameplay. All I can say is that I'm even more stoked for this game. Yes, the art style might not be to everyone's taste, and that's fine. Certainly for me, I'm more than happy with it. I do want to see that character creator released before the game. I think it would be a brilliant thing for BioWare to do. A sensible thing as well. Just look at how well and how effective it was with the release of Dragon Age 2. BioWare, please do that. Okay, so as the IGN story said, of course there'll be more stories about the game before it's released, and as always, I will react to them. So like and subscribe and look out for more videos soon. So till then, I'll just say bye-bye.